I finally played Undertale 10 years after its release, and it was alright. I'm just kidding, it touched me. It touched me deep. Undertale is one of those games I have heard nothing but good things about. Maybe it's the game I have heard the most praise for. I'd been putting off playing it for a long time, and with the release of Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4, I finally decided to give it a go. I have heard so much about Undertale over the years. The references, the video essays, the music. Even without ever playing it, I had become familiar with the game. I'm not someone who usually plays games the moment they are released. Actually, that goes for the most media. Because when I approach a piece of work with a certain level of hype and that hype doesn't live up to expectations, I usually end up enjoying it less. And I don't want that. So I try to consume that work at the right time. I let time pass so my expectations can neutralize or get close to zero. That way, I can experience it without any preconceived notions, and outside factors can't influence my opinion. But damn it, for years I couldn't find the right time to play Undertale. Even as years passed, it managed to pop up somewhere. There was never a moment when I had zero expectations for this game. In fact, my expectations only grew over the years. I kept seeing videos about how magnificent Undertale was. The hype never seemed to die down. So I concluded that putting it off any longer was pointless. I said to myself, let's just play this game and see what all the fuss is about. And so I finally began. I heard there was a pacifist route in the game, so I decided to play without killing anyone. After a pretty low effort intro, the game dropped me into a pit. Here, a flower approached me sweetly and started teaching me the rules of the game. What the hell? Yeah, of course I fell for this damn flower's trap. Fine, you gonna be like that? Okay then. If this game is going to come at me, I'll come right back at it, no problem. I played Dark Souls, goddammit. I'm not falling for this nonsense. Anyway, the game was really starting to get on my nerves. And then this sweet lady rescued me, Toriel. And she started being incredibly nice to me. She took me to her home, gave me a room, made me a pie. Wait, what am I doing? This game has just taught me to be suspicious of everyone I meet. And look at me. I have already started to like the first character I encountered. I pulled myself together and immediately started looking for a hidden motive behind Toriel's actions. She told me not to move and then left. She was definitely up to something behind my back. So I searched everywhere. I tried to solve every puzzle. And this frog thing, or whatever it was, kept showing up. It annoyed me so much. Every time I took a step, it got in my way again, and I kept getting thrown into the fight screen over and over. After sparing it countless times, I couldn't take it anymore, so I just killed it and moved on. The pacifist run was now a dream. But what could I do? The game made me this way. I started this game neutral, but not even 15 minutes had passed, and I had already started killing. Anyway, Toriel kept telling me that it was dangerous outside, that I should never leave this house. But I had already started doubting her, so I didn't believe her. Toriel continued to block my way, but I was determined to leave. Just as I was about to exit, she stood in my path. She said if I wanted to leave, I'd have to prove how strong I was. Of course, I didn't buy that fairy tale, and so we started to fight. I'll win this fight and find out what Toriel's secret is. So I started hitting her. The more I hit her, the weaker she got. Eventually, she couldn't even harm me anymore. Is she doing this on purpose? I don't get it. There must be a plan behind these moves. Come on, Toriel, show your true face already. And then she died. I killed her. This game is playing with me, and I'm angry. At the beginning, the game convinced me that everyone was evil, and right after that, it made me kill a good character. Who made this game? Yeah, this guy. I left the house and started walking through the forest. At that point, I made a decision. If someone treats me badly, I'll fight back. But if they treat me kindly, I'll do the same. Soon enough, a familiar face greeted me. The skeleton character from the thumbnail of almost every Undertale video I have ever seen. And wasn't this guy supposed to be a bad guy? Anyway, I didn't want to kill anyone anyway, so it would be nice to have a friend. Then his brother turned out to be another fantastically written character, and I became friends with him too. For a while, I explored without causing too much trouble, and started learning the lore of this universe, and the information I found was staggering. As a result of a war between monsters and humans, the monsters were trapped here, and to escape they needed to collect 7 human souls. They had already found 6, and I was the 7th. Then a knight who realized I was human tried to capture me, Undyne. I tried to convince her to let me go, but she wouldn't listen. There was no other choice. I had to fight. As much as I didn't want this fight, I had to win. And so I did. Even though she had an honorable cause, I couldn't just hand over my soul to her. So, reluctantly, I fought her. She attacked, I dodged. I hit her, she got hurt. I hit her, she became tired. I hit her, she got slower. I hit her, she went silent. I knew what I was doing to her was wrong, but I kept doing it. Eventually, her HP dropped to 0, but she didn't die. I was surprised. Then, with one last burst of determination, she started fighting again. She refused to die. Her strikes were powerful. She was saying, "I won't die. I won't let you pass." But with each passing second, her strength faded. Each of her attacks was weaker than the last. Every time I hit her, her whole body trembled. She knew she was going to lose, but she refused to accept it. She still stood tall in front of me, and she fought until she had nothing left. Finally, she took her last breath. All she wanted was freedom. She fought for it with all her might, and in the end, she gave her life. And just like that, it happened. Undertale finally touched me. I couldn't get that sequence out of my head. I would remember this evil deed I had committed for the rest of the game. Everything I did was for freedom. To be free, I was slaughtering monsters who just wanted to be free. Maybe I was the monster here. A numbness washed over me after what just happened. My mind was stuck on Undyne, because I knew I could have continued the game without killing her. I continued playing in a depressive state. Meanwhile, I was being followed. It felt like someone was stalking me. Yeah, someone is definitely stalking me. And then I found them. A dinosaur. Yes, for some reason, I was being stalked by a dinosaur. And a TV? Okay. Suddenly, I was on television. I was on a game show. And if I lost, my soul would be taken? Or something like that. I don't know. What is this absurdness? I snapped out of that depressive mode in an instant. Going from one game show to another, I was actually smiling. This game just made me sad, and now it was making me smile. It's messing with my head again. Anyway, I beat the TV in all the competitions, and finally it transformed into a person and faced me like that. I beat that form too, of course, and I continued on my way. I was filled with determination. Then a Spider-Woman appeared. She threw a few insults, attacked a couple of times, and then just let me go. I didn't understand why. Whatever. I had reached the end of the game. The only obstacle in my way was defeating the king of the monsters. After beating him, I would be free. I needed his soul to get out of here anyway, so I finally stood before him. Let's get this over with. Wait, that's him? The king is Toria's husband? Oh man, how am I supposed to tell this man I accidentally killed his wife? I felt sorry for him. He seems like such a good guy too. I think the game is playing with me again. Okay, I get it. I'm the bad guy, okay? I chose this path. I could have played without killing anyone, but I didn't. Stop punishing me, game. I know I'm in this situation because of my choices, but enough. Stop rubbing it in my face. Let's just wrap this up nicely so I can get out of here, okay? Asgore, the king of monsters, and I fought for a long time. It was an honorable duel, and in the end, I won. Now I have the chance to kill him and be free. But suddenly, I thought of Toriel. At the beginning of the game, I had accidentally killed her, and now I was being offered a choice. I could kill Asgore and be free, or I could spare him and give up my freedom. I thought for a moment, and I decided the right thing to do was to spare him. And so I did. Now we can live peacefully from now on. Right, Asgore? What? You damn flower. This game just keeps messing with my head. Enough is enough. I've got no mercy for you, flower. Come here and let me wreck you. And I'm dead. Okay, no problem. And I'm dead again. The game closed again. Let's open it again. Let's open it again. Let's open it again. This game is testing me again and again. It's putting me through every mood imaginable. But I will beat you, game, because I am a human, and you are just a bunch of lines of code. No giving up. I opened the game again, and it closed again. It closed again. It closed again. I fought again. I lost again. I tried again and again. The game mocked me every time, but I didn't give up. Each time I reopened the game, and each time I played a little better. After many attempts, I won. What now, you flower, huh? Take that. Who's laughing now? You damn flower. Mercy? Of course I won't show you mercy, you damn thing. Half the wrong decisions I made in this game were because of you. Just die already. Just shut up and go away. Phew. That's a relief. So, now what? No trick? No trap? Am I finally free? The game is ending. The characters I befriended are saying their final words. Something is definitely going to pop up at the last second, right? No? And the game ended. I'm finally free. Okay. But is this it? I feel like I missed something. Yeah, I definitely missed something. For instance, I didn't even hear Megalovania, the most famous track from the game. I immediately looked up old game's roots. Turns out that song plays during the fight with Sans on the Genocide run. And on the Pacifist route, you can actually become friends with Undyne. Oh man, seeing that made me even sadder. This game communicated with me on a different level. I now understand why this game is so effective. The game is a master at showing you the consequences of your actions. At first, I couldn't understand how this game reached such a massive audience, how hundreds of videos, fun animations, and alternate universes were made about it. Because it really felt like it was just a small indie game made by one person. But after the first half, I began to realize that I was facing a profoundly insightful work of art that communicated with me, that showed me the results of my actions. And even though my expectations for this game were incredibly high, Undertale managed to meet them. There's so much more to talk about actually. The unique combat system, the RPG mechanics, the brilliantly written NPCs. But since everyone has already talked about every little piece of Undertale countless times over the years, I don't want to repeat the same things over and over. I mean, I wasn't even planning on making this video. I wasn't sure if the internet needed its 10,000th Undertale video. This is something that kind of bothers me actually. If I don't play a game right when it comes out, I get left behind in every conversation. And when I want to talk about it years later, everyone has already talked it to death and gotten tired of it. And I can't blame anyone for that, of course. But why did I even start this channel if I'm not gonna talk about the games I play, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe and like the video. Thanks for watching.